I speak 12 languages, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I learn them fast. First, I start with sentences. I don't waste time memorizing random stuff. I immediately start learning full sentences, the kinds of things I actually want to be able to say in real life conversations. I sit down, write out everything I want to be able to say, translate it into the target language, and start memorizing. Thousands of sentences. I usually start by learning about 1,000 core sentences first, sentences that allow me to have real conversations, high frequency sentences, and from there I push towards 5,000 or even 10,000 sentences. I don't study grammar rules at all. Instead, I absorb grammar naturally, by seeing it in context over and over again inside the real sentences that I'm learning. How do I learn them? Well, I make audio recordings of those sentences, I memorize the vocab with mnemonic associations, and then I read, I listen, and I repeat aloud those sentences again and again and again until I can say them automatically. That's how I build fluency fast. Of course, you need to learn a lot of vocabulary if you want to be able to understand and speak a language. This is really important. I don't wait for words to show up magically while reading and listening. I attack vocabulary head-on from day one using mnemonic associations. If you don't know what this is, go check out my tutorials. I memorize hundreds of words fast using mnemonic associations, and then I review those words with example sentences by reading them and listening to them after having memorized those words with mnemonic associations. I use mnemonic associations to memorize not only the vocabulary from my sentences, the sentences that I want to be able to say, but also I memorize vocabulary lists of all the common verbs, adjectives, and nouns. Well, the common ones first. After that, I memorize basically all verbs, adjectives, and nouns. You need to know a lot of words to be able to understand a language. At least 5,000 words, probably 10,000 words or more to really understand the language, to be able to have meaningful conversations and to be able to understand native speaker content. And if you think you'll just learn words naturally in context, you'll be stuck forever. You will stay at the beginner stage for years. So don't do that. Instead, use mnemonic associations and word families to speed up vocabulary learning. Then, of course, I actively train my speaking. Speaking is a physical skill, like playing piano or boxing. If you want to improve, you have to practice it. So I do a lot of shadowing. I listen to my target language sentences and then repeat them aloud again and again until I can say them clearly, confidently, and without hesitation. The more you practice speaking, the faster you improve. You need a lot of reps. And finally, I also use translation to learn to think in the language. Translation is one of the most powerful language learning tools, as long as you do it right. This is the way I do it. I look at the sentences in my native language, or in English, because I normally work in English, and I say them aloud in the target language, from memory. I translate into the target language, and then check if I got it right or not. Doing this forces my brain to think in the target language. It also exposes my weak points instantly, and lets me correct mistakes as they happen. You make tons of mistakes at first, but you fix them fast with this method. And finally, of course, I listen to the language a lot. But strategically, I don't listen to random stuff. I don't binge watch random YouTube videos. I focus my listening time on the sentences I want to learn. I listen to them over and over again until I know them inside out. And only after I have a strong base of sentences and vocabulary do I move on to podcasts, films, and all of that. The actually interesting content. That way I actually understand the native speaker content when I start listening to it. So, to summarize, focus on learning thousands of useful sentences first, build a massive vocabulary using mnemonics and a lot of reviewing, train your speaking skills with a lot of shadowing, and use translation exercises to learn to think in the language and to get correction. And of course, listen to the language a lot. Listen to your learning materials first, over and over again, and once you understand them well, listen to interesting content by native speakers for native speakers. Don't waste your time with those YouTube channels for beginners, because you'll get stuck and you will continue listening to beginner content for years. Learn your sentence list first, and then jump straight to native speaker content. If you're not doing these things consistently, you're not moving towards fluency. You're just wasting time. So if you're serious about getting fluent, start applying these steps today. And if you want a jump start, you can join my 7-day challenge, where you learn your first 150 real conversation sentences in just 1 week using all these techniques. The link is in the description. Literally thousands of people have already joined, and the ones who completed the challenge got results.